Receiving from the storehouse that has been prepared for you in the glory is what God says today. At the conclusion of the work that had been done on Calvary, the angels sung a declaration that I was deserving of wealth, honor, and glory. You now have possession of that which I received at the throne upon my resurrection, and I have given it to you as your possession. I paid the price for your redemption, for your health, and even for the plenty of material belongings that are your share in this life and the life to come. I paid the price for all of these things. The environment in which I reside is one in which there are streets of gold and richness that is beyond the comprehension of man. You should pray, as in heaven, so on earth, or did I not tell you to pray that, in splendor, there is no such thing as poverty? There are no cases of illness. There is no deficiency, a decline, or a source of disappointment. All of these things should be rejected, and you should accept the inheritance that is yours as a result of the purchase price of my suffering. You are now in a position to gain access to the treasuries and the glory that are comprised of your belongings on earth. Because I wanted you to have a chance at life. I came down from heaven to earth and took on a lowly position so that you could benefit from my wealth. That goes beyond the ethereal idea of wealth that is associated with religion. Unbelief is a poisonous substance that has been infused into those incorrect thoughts. I have something that you can touch and feel. I am revealing to you today how to manifest the substance of as it is in heaven so that it is also on earth. It is manifest. Give in to it. Please take it. The fullness of all things in heaven and all things on earth as a testament to people around you and the world of my goodness and love for you as a new creation in my kingdom is something that I bled for so that you might rejoice in it. I bled for it so that you may rejoice in it. I am bringing you out of the lockbox of limited thinking about what I have in store for your life, the Father says to you today. I am bringing you through this. Your ideas that are founded on fear tell you that you are not prepared, and that there are people in your immediate environment who will never pull their heads out of the sand that they have been building on. I am guiding you out of the confines that the adversary has planned for you to maintain in your life. You will no longer be restricted to the confines that fear and anxiety would have established for you from this point forward. The Father declares that you are going to be set free on this day, just like the bird that was released from the snare of the fowler. Awaken your heart to the opportunities that lie ahead and to the potential that lies inside me. The presence of my Spirit within you is trying to open your senses not only to things that are in the future but also to things that are happening right now. Now I am a part of you. You are more than a man who has conquered. You are a creation of dominion, and in dominion, you are exercising power over all of the acts that the wicked one is conspiring to do against you. I am who I am, and this is what I specialize in doing. You should tell your soul to be receptive to these realities because the road that I have prepared remains available to you now so that you can walk out of what is and into everything that I have provided so that you can possess your possessions and triumph over every circumstance. Today, the Father says, I am adding to you, not removing from you. I am creating more for you. I came so that you would have life and live more abundantly, where there is no loss, poverty, grief, or illness that harms you in any way. I came so that you might have life. Despite the fact that this is not what you have been taught in the past, you should make the decision to be a father-pleaser and prioritize the straightforward assurance of my word over the advice of those who are ignorant and believe that they are the only ones who can correctly explain things to you. Your trust should be placed in me with all of your heart, and you should make the decision to never rely on your own knowledge or the understanding of anybody else if what is being spoken is in conflict with the promise that my word has made. By doing so, you will be able to take a break from the stress and strain that you have been experiencing and enter into my rest. This includes the rest of that one who has chosen to believe only and to not fear. At this moment, my beloved, I am standing in your future and making a prophecy into your present. In your future, the things that lie in your past are not nearly as powerful as who I am in your future. Neither are you a product of your environment nor are you a kid of your history. You are not anything of either. An entirely new creature is you. Every single day that you are awake, everything rebirths into something new. It is your life, and it holds a vast promise. You are entitled to all of my promises, and peace is yours to possess. Take hold of what my word says, and let the declaration of my word on your lips to contradict all that is going on around you or inside you that suggests otherwise. This is the home that I have created for you to call all your own. There is no ill that can come from this area, and there is no contradictory thing that can work against you in any way. This is the perpetual place. The Father has spoken to us today, saying, I am your sufficiency and your completeness. You should make it clear to yourself that this goes beyond your requirements if I am your complete and whole requirements. I declared in my word, whatever it is that you desire. David testified that I was his shepherd, and as a result, he did not experience any lack despite his circumstances. I am not merely a God who fulfills every need. Your wants, your desires, your needs, and your goals are all backed up like traffic on the Los Angeles freeway at 5 o'clock. I am the God in your life who provides for all of these things. As of this moment, I am rushing toward you and pushing toward you in all of my goodness and all of my provision until I fill every route and receptacle of trust that you have made open to me. Because of the choices you've made, many doors have been shut. You inquired as to whether or not you had made errors, and I can promise you that you have, and that you will continue to make some errors. Please be aware that I do not give up on you or withdraw from you as a result of the flawed human error that you have committed. You are completely encapsulated and filled by me at all times, making it impossible for the adversary to penetrate or permeate your life in any way. You have been chosen by me as a child. I have chosen you and chosen you to be my finest and best, even beyond, far beyond everything that you could ever dream for, think about, or imagine. You are to accept it and make this wonderful truth your default state as you continue your walk with me. It is not that you are sinking into sin, but rather that you are falling into grace, the Father says to you today. I am aware of your inadequacies. Despite the fact that you may not be aware of it, I am aware of your transgression. Your efforts to improve your moral character do not disprove the existence of sin, rather, they highlight the guilt that fig leaves could never conceal. Oh, my beloved, come to me. In the cool of the day, I will walk toward you and you will hear my voice. Not only are you running toward me, but you are also running that way, into me. You will be received by me, and I will leave nothing of the old man and his history of wrongdoing behind. It is only the things that I have wrought in you that have any value that will last forever, and I will deliver you from both your mistakes and your accomplishments. Helper is the moniker I am known by among you now. Do you require any assistance? Would you like some assistance? Have you reached your limit of attempting to assist yourself? You are the source of the works that wear you down or exhaust you. I, the Father, am the one who does the works and receives all of the credit for them. Therefore, the acts that renew you originate from myself. I invite you to enter that location, says the Father. Step into that state of rest. Enter into the rest of God that is coming upon you right now and will continue to be with you for the remainder of this day as the fulfillment of your greatest dream and the fulfillment of your highest heart's desire is made real in your life in its entirety. It is today that the Father declares, I will not be a debtor to any man. Despite the fact that it is a harsh reality, this is a very important truth. You cannot earn anything by seeking to satisfy me. Your heavenly character is a gift from my hand. Through the sacrifice of the cross, I have bestowed upon you a new nature. You are a part of the family that I have. It is because of the labor that your elder brother did to redeem you that you are kind to God. Because of what was done for you on Calvary, every transgression and every area of your life that does not meet my standard of expectation is obliterated and erased. You have been set free. You have been purified. By virtue of imputation, you have been made holy, and now you are walking in the favor that I have bestowed upon you from my throne. Are you aware of the implications that this has for you? This indicates that you are freed from the burden of attempting to measure up to my perfection by the virtue of your behavior. Rather than being a set of behaviors, perfection in me, beloved, is an identity. Your identity in Christ is the source of everything I require and desire from you, and it has nothing to do with your religious or moral behavior. I want and need everything from you. This is the unmerited gift that enables my essence and holiness to appear in you, not as an outward veneer of conduct, but rather through the identity that you have in me, which was purchased via the blood that was shed at Calvary. Today, the Father encourages us to make a decision to be courageous and triumphant. Keep in mind that the act of not making a decision is considered a decision. A void is something that nature despises. In the event that you do not fill your mind with my thoughts and my mind, the adversary will enter your mind and take control of you, causing you to experience feelings of failure, depression, and disappointment. Dearly beloved, these goods are not your share of the pie. You are a creation of rule and power, and I fashioned you from the dust of the earth so that you can rise up for yourself. Each and every idea that is counter to the norm originates from the adversary. Now is the time to make the necessary modification in order to reject the victimization theology. Instead of being a victim, you are a conqueror. In no way are you below, but rather you are above. You will ride above the highest locations on earth today because I will cause you to do so. Today, wealth is your default condition because I am bringing heaven down to earth in every aspect of your life. I am sending heaven to earth. Heaven is devoid of any state of poverty. Hell is a place where there is no sickness. In heaven, there is no waiting, yet waiting for eternity is a permanent state of being in the here and now. There is no waiting. In every situation where you are confronted with a problem, make this your conditioned response. Today, right now, is the day when you will be saved, healed, redeemed, and rewarded. Remember this. Defy the urge to give up your ambitions and dreams, for they are the foundation upon which I am building your life in order to fulfill my desires and fulfill my delight. In today's message, the Father declares, "My kingdom is activated by both voice and motion." It is not beneficial, my dear, to wait and watch for anything to change without investing your faith in the process. Although I have plans and purposes for your life, I do not in any way disregard the critical requirement that you take action. Have a willingness to take chances. In the eyes of the natural intellect, this is what faith appears to be. You must be willing to walk on water, to struggle with the angel, to stare the lion in the teeth, and to dare my word to not be trustworthy in matters pertaining to you. You should not look at the mistakes that have been made in the past or the accomplishments of other people who have not made any development. Say, "Fear not, believe only," to yourself, then pull the ripcord and cast yourself on the mercies of my providence that are working to put you over in life. This is all that is required of you. When you put your faith in me and refuse to let yourself be discouraged, you will not crash and burn. This is all about free fall to the Father. It is unrealistic to anticipate that everyone will be as enthusiastic about your breakthrough as you are. One can be very proud of their lack of belief. When the opinions of those who have tried and failed are caused to be offended by your achievement, they will not offer their congratulations to you. There is going to be jealousy, and sure, a lost relationship is something that may and frequently does happen. Make it a point to avoid getting distracted or sidetracked in any manner. We will walk it out together until the highest heart's desire and the largest dream fulfilled are yours in radical measure, says God. Stay in the love lane and the faith posture, and we will walk it out together. I want you to make a decision in your heart to keep my joy and my serenity no matter what happens. The Father says this today. Consider the things that are good, pure, perfect, and of good repute. All of these things are worthy of consideration. Your thoughts in your head should not be filled with the negativity that the world has to offer. Do not let yourself fall into this trap. Keep in mind at all times that the primary narrative that is at the forefront of your thoughts is the one that establishes the preface for what is going to happen in your life in the future. While you are protecting your heart, you are also protecting your life and making certain that the arrangements for my promises are made, and that nothing else will come to pass in the days that are to come. The emotional emphasis that you should place on who I am in your life and what I say in my words should take precedence over everything else. It is an undeniable reality that you are that which you are when you are paying attention to something. Keep your soul and spirit free from any and all contaminations that will only bring you down, leave you feeling disheartened, and divert your attention elsewhere. Take care not to give credibility to what other people have to say or what they insist you must fill your mind with, and avoid giving in to all the noise and instances that other people produce. You must acquire the ability to judge righteously and maintain your concentration on who I am in your life. Today, the Father declares, I am your Savior, your baptizer, and your healer. Get all of the provisions that Calvary has to offer right now. Your baptism should be brought out of the cloistered religious trappings of dead ritual and custom, and it should be brought to life with the life and truth that became yours at that moment when you rose from a watery grave. You have reached the end of the seas of separation. Zion represents your future, while Egypt represents your history. Because I paid the price and become the entire fulfillment of the expectation of the law on your behalf, there is no need for you to go on a wilderness adventure that lasts for 40 years. The only thing that is left is the resolve to believe the good report and to march into your own personal Canaan in order to collect your inheritance. God commands you to raise the shofar of your freedom and to cry it out into the world. Once you have found your position in the ranks of the faithful, you will witness the walls of your Jericho crumbling to the ground. Now is the moment for victories and miracles to take place. You are not going to be excluded. There will be no exclusion of you. This path, as well as this day, was predetermined for you before the earth was even created. This was written in the days of the book of your life, and it was sealed by the angel who was appointed to accompany you into the fullness of blessings, destiny, and favor that are yours by virtue of the provision that was purchased with holy blood. This day, the Father declares that the crisis is coming to an end, and that a season of favor is on its way. My favor is being bestowed upon you with those individuals with whom you must have favor in order to see the occurrence of transformation and the opening of circumstances that will bring you into your subsequent assignment in my kingdom. The fact that there is a part of it that is unknown is true, but I want you to move forward with your trust in me rather than relying on a specific set of details to provide you with the direction you need to make things different. Just pay attention to what I have to say. Embrace the sincerity of Samuel, a young man who awoke in the middle of the night and said the words, "Speak, Lord, for your servant heareth." According to the Father, I am freeing you from the oppression of the intellect. The natural mind is never satisfied with only sitting in the driver's seat and being in charge of what subsequent actions you do. The need of the mind to exert authority and control over your life is shown in the fact that it is eager to have explanations, analyses, and tactics that are meticulously carried out. I will walk you into your next assignment with complete assurance that the outcome will be life and life that is more abundantly beyond all of your ideas, your highest dreams, or your greatest aspirations. Reject all of these protestations and simply sit at my feet, anticipating and knowing that I am the one who brought you into this life. In today's message, the Father declares, I am adding and subtracting everything from your life. Beyond the metric that you are now using to measure things, I am adding to you the length of days, the length of life, and the tranquility that you have. I am removing inadequacy, insufficiency, and lack from your awareness and putting it in a distant location. In heaven, there is no such thing as neediness. My throne is the source of all sufficiency. There is no deficiency it produces. Within the litany of the blessings that my Spirit has bestowed upon us, there is not a single instance of unease or disturbance of the heart. Due to the fact that they are not my portion, they are not belonging to you. As a means of making my image evident, I have elevated you. My face is not that of an elderly man with a beard and a frown on it. My kingdom is filled with happiness. When I rule, there is tranquility. Righteousness, entitlement, and visible rulership over all the principalities of darkness and opposition are the distinguishing characteristics of my kingdom. This is a defeat for the opponents. Both their energy and their ideas are running out, and they are both running out of ideas. You, on the other hand, are similar to the eagle in that you are revitalizing your youth. Due to the fact that love is a relationship that cannot fail, you are immune to failure. Continue to walk in love, and continue to attack the adversary with the faith that brings mountains to fall, which I have bestowed upon you. Be conscious of the fact that you are not saturating heaven with your petitions, since the entrances and exits to my throne are publicly accessible to you. You are not directing your spiritual warfare at me, rather, it is directed at the adversary of your soul who is attempting to block you from coming to me. During the course of your day, go out and defeat the adversary by utilizing your vitality and your freshness. When the day is over, you will be able to look back on it with a grin on your face and a declaration of triumph on your lips. Today, the Father declares, I have come to completely liberate you from all of your worries and fears. Faith is ambushed by dread, but I triumphed over fear. Thus, you will triumph over fear and free your hopes, dreams, and vision from its clutches. Faith is the law that I have established, and it is faith that dismembers fear and renders it incapable of exerting any kind of control over you. At this moment, you are a part of my universe, and the domain of darkness is no longer able to coerce you into stealing or taking anything away from you in any way. My default plan for your tomorrows is that they will be, as in heaven so on earth. Your natural environment is in the skies, and your original environment is in the heavens. All independent measurements that have been taken of your life that are in conflict with my commitment should be abandoned. Refuse to engage in mental collaboration with the adversary's attempt to disenfranchise your dreams or to step on you. These are both unacceptable goals. Therefore, he is the one who is destined to consume the dust of the earth as his source of sustenance. It is no longer accurate to call you a dustman. Because of Jesus Christ, you are a whole new creation. Your ancestry is no longer in the generations of Adam, rather, it is in the regenerative and redeeming power of the resurrection, which is able to change all you are facing in your life even to this very day. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, the punishment of death for sin was completely satisfied on the cross. Both death and fury are not appointed to you. You are not appointed to either of these things. For the sake of putting righteousness into practice, I have made you righteous. You are in no manner disqualified from the competition. Your transgressions and your flaws are erased by the dark stains that are caused by the blood that flows through my veins. The load of shame is beginning to fade away, and joy is on the horizon. This delight can even be experienced by someone whose great burden of guilt and anxiety has been lifted. Please acknowledge this as the truth of the provision that Calvary has made for you. You are now clean as a result of the word of redemption that I proclaimed over you 2,000 years ago when I cried out, "It is finished." According to the Father, this is a significant reason to rejoice. It is now possible for you to migrate out of the domain of darkness and into the kingdom of sons, which is under the governance of my loving hands. Please take advantage of this opportunity. Abolition of the motions of death has taken place. You are exonerated of all the accusations that have been written against you. At this moment, the gavel is lowered in your favor at the courtrooms that are located in paradise. Feel it in your body. Are you aware of the freedom that is currently working its way through your veins? Death is replaced by life, and eternity that is inside you usurps the authority that time holds over you. You are no longer restricted by time. You are free to roam the kingdom. This is the provision that I am making right now, and everything in your life is gradually adjusting to this new reality. Here and now, the Father declares, I am establishing the fact that I am the Father in you. What you do, where you go, or how well you measure up to any artificial religious standard will not determine whether or not you are entitled to something in my kingdom. According to the Father, you are twice mine. I knew you while you were still in your mother's womb, and I fashioned you for the purpose of the kingdom. I knew you back then when you gave me your life and welcomed me to take up residence in your heart. Only then did I know you. The phrase, double-born, is what I use to describe you. According to the Father, this is a moment when you will receive twice as much. I have provided you with the double on this particular day. You will get up, and you will leave the house later. People who are not familiar with you will refer to you as blessed because of the truth and light that you bring into their lives. At this very moment, I am referring to you as a participant in my kingdom and a first partaker of my favor. It is no longer necessary for you to rub your nose against the glass of another person's blessing or breakthrough because I will provide you with something that is uniquely yours. My kingdom is waiting for you to go into the location and the moment where you will be able to create your own season through your faith. Today is the day that the reaper is surpassed by the plowman. From this day forward, the seeds that you have planted will yield a crop even before they are planted in the ground. I have removed the seeds of grief and suffering, and the planting of my purpose is now beginning to sprout up from the ground of your expectations after they have been removed. You should be aware that I am the Lord of your harvest on this day, and I do not refer to you as merely a servant, rather, I refer to you as my cherished sons and daughters. As of today, the Father instructs us to accept the price that was paid for Calvary. In order for you to have a complete experience of my grace, I completely satisfied the law. My grace that transforms you is present in you and on you, and it is reshaping you into my image. Heaven's blessings are bestowed upon your life at this moment. You will receive the full measure of the dividends that the cross has to offer, and nothing will prevent this from happening. I have added my name and my spirit to your existence without any limitations or restrictions, and that is the reality of what I have done. I invite you to acknowledge your position in me and to pass through the vestibule of faith that is able to leave behind deficiency, illness, and sadness. Dearly beloved, the blood is placed to the doorpost of your home. In your heart, your character, and the situations that you are experiencing on the outside, heaven is syncing with planet Earth. Give up everything and take everything in. The notions of self-consciousness should be set aside, and instead, God consciousness should be adopted as the default filter through which understanding of everything is established. Throw away the concepts that are associated with the flesh man until they are completely overshadowed by the I am viewpoint. Your life will never be the same again. Your testimony will no longer be tainted in any manner, nor will you ever again be ashamed of yourself. I have lowered myself into your humanity, and you have risen to a place where you have a complete understanding of my divinity. It is not possible to go back or look back. It is no longer necessary for you to be curious or roam aimlessly because the desert experience has been eliminated, and the reality of Canaan has now taken a more profound hold on you than it ever has before. This day, the Father exhorts you to acknowledge yourself as my recent creation. When I make decisions about you, I do not take into consideration the fact that you are a flawed human being. On the other hand, I am not going to go over your life looking for some reason to exclude your prayers from consideration. When you live before me in sorrow and repentance, the cross is superimposed over your past. This is because the big lens of eternity is looking at you through this lens. What you are able to accomplish in your life is solely determined by the cross and the sacrifice that you made there. You are not hindered by the disappointments of the past. You are not automatically disenfranchised from having the most highest heart's desire or the greatest goal achieved simply because of the constraints or circumstances of your birth. In the event that you adjust your way of thinking to accommodate this new creation reality, the skies will open, and all of the privileges that come with the kingdom will be brought online in anticipation of the occasion of your faith. Both a dust man and a dust woman are not what you are. In contrast to the part of you that is connected to me, which formed in that cosmic moment when resurrection life took me out of death and caught me up to the throne, the part of you that was born of your mother originated in Adam. Beloved, the same angels who rolled away the stone that represented my death are now waiting at this moment to assist you in rolling away the stone that represents your desperation and agony. You no longer have to be defined by your earthly state. On this day and age, I declare to you that just as I am, so are you on the earth. Get used to the reality of the situation. Wrap your faith around this comprehension, and let this reality to serve as the foundation for your feet. I am that I am, and you are that you are, and from that ground, miracles burst out fully formed to transform your life in a moment. Even this minute, says the Father. You are that you are. There is a kingdom within you, declares the Father in this day and age. Allow it to overcome all of the carnality and human logic that you have, and allow it to manifest itself in your life in the form of instantaneous, revolutionary outcomes and breakthroughs. It is important to keep in mind that the kingdom that does not exist within you is not the kingdom, as I stated in my word. By placing my joy, my peace, and my righteousness on the inside of you, I have made them available to meet any and all of your need. In order to make place in your mind for my mind, which is the mind of Christ, to assert itself in expectation of an unparalleled miracle breaking now in your life, you must push past the pollution of fear, tension, worry, and the certainty of failure. Put an end to the religious notion that faith is something that is hidden. Your faith, as well as the trust that I have bestowed upon each and every man, was never meant to be a secret that was concealed behind the old, barren traditions of pessimism and despair. Do you hear the knocking that is going on and on? However, that is not me attempting to enter. I am already on the inside of you. The knocking that you are experiencing is your faith hurling itself at the gates and obstacles of unbelief in order to get out into your life and situation. Your miracle, the miracle you've been waiting for up until this point, will become a foregone conclusion when your faith is released into the fresh air of visible action. Today, the Father instructs us to accept complete forgiveness and clemency for the things that have occurred in the past. Your shortcomings have been withdrawn from me to the extent that the East is separated from the West. They have been forgotten. There is no reason for you to recall them. The fact that they are forgotten means that those who would argue differently are aligning themselves with the person who accuses men of having dark souls. They condemn you based on a standard that they will not even attempt to adhere to themselves in the slightest degree, and they reference scriptures from the Bible and bring up your former circumstances. Those who are blind are guiding those who are blind. What gave you the right to be tormented by them? Could you possibly be so cruel to yourself? I have made the declaration that the reality of full salvation is a part of the new creation. Therefore, in order for you to experience a fresh start in life, I have led you out of captivity. The Father tells you to move in that way, and your deliverance will be absolutely certain. According to the Father, you are looking for a way out, but you should know that as long as I am with you, even the valley of the shadow of death will not be able to bring you down. The antagonism that you are trying to get away from is precisely the spot where I have laid out a table for you that is absolutely loaded with a lot of wonderful things. Put dread to rest. Refuse to allow yourself to be scarred or put off. The person who touches you or lays their words on you is literally touching the pupil of my eye, and they will be dealt with in the appropriate manner. Have faith in me for this. There will be no more waking up in the middle of the night wondering what they are doing or what they have planned. Your entire day is written in my book by a pen with a diamond point, and I am the one who writes it. I have made my voice heard. Are others going to challenge what I have stated about you? Would it be possible for men to destroy the work that I have done in you? Relax and take deep breaths, God advises. Breathe in the love that I have for you, and exhale all of your anxiety, for I am the one who is in charge of your tomorrows, and I am both competent and kind.